Hello, everybody. We are all set to go. Good morning. Welcome to Rise and Shine with Cassandra Renee. That's me. And you are watching, of course, as you already know, TQN, the Quarantine Network. We're all in this together. We might as well come in together, right? All right, so good morning. We've got some people tuning in now. Good morning, good morning. So I am just going to dive right in because I've got lots of content I'd like to cover this morning and really get into the meat of what I do. So meditation got a great response yesterday, so I think we should start with that. Every morning, it's good, the top successful habits of successful people include morning meditation as one of the very first things in my life. It's rise, pee, meditate, and that's what I do, even if it's only for 5 minutes. So let's get to it. I am going to put on some of this, and these are binaural beats. Very, very subtle, and that's how we're going to keep it. So to join me, please get yourself in a proper seat. You want to have your back supported. Even sitting on a cushion is nice and helpful to keep your spine elevated above your hips. And you want to keep your neck elevated along in alignment with your spine. Okay, so as long as you're not driving, actually, before I have you close your eyes, I'm going to teach you a different technique. And this technique is great. Today is all about grounding. And this is a great, great, great technique, not just for meditation, but for anytime you feel stressed or anxious. And for such a time as this, it comes in really well and really handy. So there is a methodology to it. I'm not going to get into it here today, but the way you do this is you're going to take your right hand, and it's between your ring finger and your thumb. And when you're ready, you're going to exhale. I'm going to demonstrate this first before you close your eyes. So you're going to exhale and take your thumb and cover your right nostril. Then keep it there and inhale through your left nostril. Pause at the top when you reach the height of your breath. Switch fingers so that your ring finger is now on your left nostril, and exhale through your right nostril. Now you're going to repeat the cycle. Inhale on the right nostril. Pause. In that pause, switch fingers and exhale through your left nostril. Inhale through your left nostril. Switch fingers and exhale. Got it down? All right, now you can go ahead and close your eyes and we'll get with it. Couple more rounds. Okay, you can return to normal breathing. Just let that sit in your body and see how that feels. Notice your heart rate. has gone down. Notice the calm in your body. Now notice how the top of your head feels. Feel that sensation trickle down with a bright pinkish white light. Maybe it's a little tingly. Feel those tingles energizing you as it trickles down the bridge of your nose, down your eyebrows, over your eyelids, down your temples, down, tracing the lines of your cheeks, down your jaw, to your chin. As it flows over, trace the top of your lip. Imagine, hold the image of you actually tracing around the top of your lip and your bottom lip, down to your chin. Feel it trickle now the back of your head, down the back of your neck, the front of your neck. Feel it flowing now, rushing down along your shoulders, down the bottom sides of your upper arms, your lower arms, down into your hands. If you have your palms open, feel them collecting this tingling sensation like a pool of water in the bottoms of your hands. Feel this trickle down now, all the way down your back, cascading now like a waterfall, like a faucet that's just been turned on, rushing, filling you with energy in this calm state of mind. Feel it tingle and trickle down now, rushing like waterfalls down your hips, all the way down your legs, flowing, energizing as it passes through down your thighs, the back of your legs, your knees, down your shins, your calves, your feet, in between the toes, and bound down to the bottom of the soles of your feet. On your next deep breath, feel that surge energize you, flowing all the way up from the bottom of your soles, all the way up through your body, rushing out through the top of your head. Whoosh. Come back to your breathing. Notice any thoughts that come up. Stay with them for a moment. And then just like that water rushing through, whoosh, let it pass and come back to your breathing. Anytime a thought comes up, go ahead and acknowledge it. And then feel that rush, that tingly, that energizing water just flow through and focus on your breath. See if you can count your inhales to 1, 2, 3, 4. Can you get to 5? Hold it there, enjoying the deliciousness of that breath. And exhale. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Can you make it go longer? Inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe 6. Exhale for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Couple more rounds focusing on your breath. You can silently count Try to make your exhale longer than your inhale. Like you're getting rid of all that stale air left inside. And with every inhale, remember that energizing sensation filling up your body. Make sure to savor that before you let it go. Now to close out, bring your palms together to heart center. Swoop them up and around to the top above your head, bringing them together. And as you bring them down, all the way down your body, repeat with me. I am divine. I am connected. I am expressive. I am love. I am strong. I am creative. I am safe. One more time, bring them all the way up. And as you exhale, bring your hands down, palms to heart center. Go ahead and flicker your eyelids open. Namaste. Now that was a bit more involved, a bit more traditional than yesterday's meditation. If you weren't with me yesterday, or if you were and you preferred that one, go ahead and let me know in the comments, and feel free to go back to yesterday's episode for the 8-state meditation. I kind of wanted to mix it up a little bit and also be conservative of time. So that was about a 10-minute meditation. And the reason I started with that one in particular today, let me get my sounds off, is because, like I said in the beginning, when you are in times of panic and stress or just want to calm yourself down, using that alternate breathing technique, switching between nostrils, literally forces your brain and your body and your heart, everything to just chill. Those of you who did this with me, I would love to see your comments. First off, hello, good morning. Where are you tuning in from? I want to see in the comments where you're tuning in from, and also how that felt when you did that. Any challenges that came up with that, any questions you have about that, any comments. I would love to see your feedback, because that's going to help me serve you. So that's something you can do at any time. I have had moments of stress where I've just been sitting in my car about to go into a meeting, or about to go on a first date, or all kinds of things where all of a sudden the stress just kind of like, ugh. Hey, Bo, thanks for joining. Let me know where you're tuning in from, guys, and how that meditation made you feel if you did it. Yeah, so I've had times where I've been anxious and stressed, and I've actually just sat down, did the breathing for anywhere from about 3 to 5 rounds, and that will automatically get you centered and calmed down. Massachusetts in the house. All right, so I'm broadcasting in Vegas. Where are my other viewers? Where are you watching from? So what it does is, because it's forcing your breathing to only go through one channel at a time, your body literally has to slow down so that it can't like get you all riled up. Because once your breath starts increasing, so does your heart rate. And so if you slow down your breath, most of us can't consciously slow our heart rate down. So if we slow down our breath, we're able to therefore slow down our fight or flight response, our parasympathetic nervous system. Once you slow that down, that's when your head can get clearer. So in going with that, it's very much of a grounding exercise to get you ready and prepared so you're responding, not reacting. And in this lovely quarantine time that we're in, we are definitely easily able to go into fight or flight mode, into reacting versus responding. And when you take control, it starts with you. When you take even just those couple rounds of breath to center yourself, calm yourself, ground yourself, you're able to much better think clearly and then act from a centered place of love and more alignment in your own truth rather than just, ah! So for those of you who don't know me, my name is Cassandra Renee, and I am a self-love and life coach. You can find me over at Wild Blossom Beacon Coaching here on Facebook and Instagram. And I specialize in transformative breakthroughs and positive mindset shifts. And what a great way to start your morning off. Thank you so much for spending your morning with me. For those of you watching, go ahead and type in the comments where you're tuning in from. We've got Massachusetts. I'm in Vegas. So I'd love to see who's here. And jumping right into today's content, I am so grateful that I get to be here with you. And I run, most of my clients who work with me, actually 75% of them go into a 12-week program with me. It's a 3-month, 90-day program where every week is a different topic. And while I've got my time here with you guys, I would like to dive in and go over these topics with you to help you not only deal with the stresses and the anxiety and the chaos, although hopefully most of that's calmed down now, but be here to hold a space for you to support you in whatever it is that you've got going on. And I personally choose to look at this as a gift that you can, whatever you can't control, there's no sense in stressing about it, right? Because do what you can and let the rest go. Because stress is only going to cause more anxiety, causing you to need that breathing technique, and then causing all other kinds of concerns and reactionary actions versus taking control and saying, all right. So today's episode is about I get to. And in my first week of my course is all about health and wellness. Because as my grandfather used to say, if you don't have your health, you don't have nothing. I prefer the more proper grammar techniques on that. But some things to keep in mind as you're going through this week. Just like Grandpa said, if you don't have your health, you don't have anything. So first and foremost, take care of you. You can't even take care of your loved ones unless you take care of yourself. Just like on an airplane, right? They tell you, make sure you put your oxygen mask on first before assisting others. Because how good are you at assisting somebody else if you're not breathing? No good. And that goes into the concept of, we've probably all heard it, you can't pour from an empty cup, right? Well, one of my mentors, Lisa Nichols, she's fabulous. She says, it's your responsibility, and I fully agree, it's your responsibility to make sure that your cup is filled, right? At the beginning of the day, charge your phone, right? You would never let your phone go on empty. So you charge your own self, you take care of you, even if it's just for 5 minutes. If that's all you have, make those 5 minutes. And rather than filling your cup up, you've done your responsibility to fill your cup up and show up in the world. Why? You've got so many things you'd like to do and accomplish. Why deplete that cup? Why pour from your cup rather than pouring from an empty cup, not being able to pour from an empty cup, pouring from a full cup? As a matter of fact, why don't we take that to another level and pour from our overflow? Why don't we take the responsibility to fill up our cups and pour it all the way to overflowing and then pour from our saucer? Doesn't that sound like a way better idea than downing like 5 energy shots a day or 6 cups of coffee? Isn't it better if we use our energy for our efforts? It is not selfish to be selfish. Don't know what I mean by that? It is our responsibility. Selfish has a bad rep. And as you'll see in future episodes, we're going to get into how thoughts are very important and the epistemology of words, because the words you use might be keeping you, if you're not in a place where you'd like to be right now, the words you use could be a big factor. So, being selfish is literally the definition of taking care of oneself, the state of being concerned with oneself. Now, in polite society, we've been told that being selfish is a bad thing, that you need to take care of others and be of service and be a freaking martyr. No. Yeah, it's a romantic notion, but being a martyr, not where you want to be. You know, all of the first responders, first off, let's give a big hand to all of our first responders, all of our frontline people, all the people working day and night tirelessly to keep people healthy. Let's give a big shout out to all of the workers, the delivery drivers, everyone on the front lines who are keeping the stores open, who are stocking the shelves, not even getting a chance to stock the shelves. Like, let's give a big round of applause and a shout out to all of you, if some of you are watching, and anyone that you know, and even that you don't know, because holy heck, they're allowing us to get our stuff together. So thank you very much. And for those of you who are in that position or know somebody in that position, please pass on your love to them and ask them to please take a minute. Their selfless acts that they are doing are incredible, but they can't do them and they cannot be as effective as possible to better serve the rest of us unless they fill up their cup, they charge up their phone to full capacity first, right? So it's our responsibility. And once you get in the habit of self-care and self-love and being selfish in a genuine, constructive way, you will easily overflow your cup so that you can help others. So yeah, round of applause. So yesterday, when I was getting ready for today, I watched one of my little dogs, Bo, who is, he's in his crate right now, so he's not gonna say hi. But he's so silly. His crate stays open, and he just likes the comfort of that. Anyone here have dogs that like the comfort of their own homes? They're like, they're social, they're fine, but they definitely like their space. Well, Bo is one of those dogs, but he was a rescue, and clearly he had been beaten and abused, and it took him over a year to realize that I was his forever mom and I wasn't going anywhere. And it took him almost 3 years to give me a kiss for the first time. So it has been a very slow rehabilitation process for him. I'm happy to say he's a very happy boy. But in the past year, he's become a lot more vocal. And it's the cutest thing. I've never experienced any dog ever who actually says woof, and he woofs. But somewhat recently, he's gotten into this little like, like he started doing that now. And yesterday he went into his crate totally on his own. I was here at the counter doing work, and he goes into his crate, and I hear him. I look over, I'm like, where is he? What's sassy butt trying to tell me? And I'm like, you doofus, you put yourself in the crate. You want attention? Come out of the crate. And as I had that thought, I was like, whoa. We have, in our choices, we can think macro or micro on this. We're in a crate right now, right? We're in quarantine. Some people are in lockdown. And definitely type in the comments, let me know what your situation is so I can be attentive to that. But I thought about that, and I'm like, whether we're in a quarantine or a lockdown or a physical crate, we still have the choice to come out of that. So what do I mean by that? We get to, and so this is today's theme, is I get to. So we get to choose how we're going to respond. We get to choose what we're going to do with our time. And with all the time that many of us have, and type in the comments, let me know who is currently not working, who is still working, who is working less. I'd like to know. Regardless of what your situation, everyone's situation has changed in some way, shape, or form. And we can react by saying, I have to do this. Do you? Do you have to do fill in the blank? Or for those of you who are bored and don't know what to do, you get to. We all get to. Viktor Frankl once said, everything in life can be taken away from you except for your ability to choose how you respond. And this is where you can immediately have that reaction of a lower vibration because you're acting out a fight or flight response, or you can respond from a place of, let me think about this. Okay. So what do you get to do? So I look at this as a blessing. I get to go through my mentors programs. I get to work on my coaching practice. I get to have the opportunity to meet more people and be of greater service to other people. I get to spend more time with my dogs. I get to spend much more time being creative. It's like an episode of Chopped in the kitchen, right? Which is one of my favorite shows. So sweet, I get to do that just without our own rice to help. I get to like fill in the blank. So I'd love to know in the comments what you get to do. Maybe it's even not as glamorous, but this is the mindset shift that you want to have moving forward, even on things you don't want to do. I'm alive. I woke up today. I get to go clean out the closet. But you don't have to stop there because that doesn't really sound so fun or glamorous, right? Maybe I get to clean out the closet so that I can help improve somebody else's life with the donation of things that I don't need anymore. And I get to give myself a sense of calm by seeing no more clutter in a clean space. It's kind of like if you give a mouse a cookie. Anyone remember that book from your childhood? If you give a mouse a cookie, then he'll ask for a glass of milk. If you give a mouse a glass of milk, he'll ask for a straw to drink it out of. If you give the mouse a straw, he might spill the glass of milk and he'll need a napkin, and so on and so forth. That story leads into chaos. But what if you take whatever task is ahead of you, whether you're excited about it or not, and start the if you give a mouse a cookie trail? I get to clean, and you always want to have that mindset of I get to, even if you're not that thrilled about it, because when you have the I get to mindset and you follow the cookie crumb trail of if you give a mouse a cookie, you will eventually find your place to a happy state. Keynote here, when you focus on the feeling, that the good positive feeling that's going to come out of it, it's always going to trace back to a feeling. And that's what you want, right? We all want to feel good. We all want to feel calm. We want to feel safe, relaxed, heard, understood, right? So I get to finally dive into these books I've been meaning to dive in. You know what? That's going to make me feel happy. I don't need to take that paper trail down, that breadcrumb trail. But maybe what if it is, I have to clean out the closet. Like it's been on my to-do list. I'm bored. I've got nothing else to do. Do you have to? No. Reframe. I get to clean out my closet because then I get to check that off my to-do list. And in so doing, I get to clean out the clutter and not just be every time I see it. I get to take the things that I don't need and donate them and to bring value to someone else's life. I get to. So bringing that back into the being selfish as a good thing aspect, I've got some homework assignments for you guys. Now, all of my clients are required to have journals. And so I probably should have prepared you with that in the beginning. I apologize. Next time I will put that in the notes. But if you have a piece of paper handy, or if not, you can always come back to this video later. And I'd like you to write out things that make me happy. And if you don't have a paper in front of you right now, that's totally cool. Type it in the comments below. Things that make me happy. And there are no limits to this, guys. Whatever makes you happy. Side note, since this is early morning, this is one of the successful habits of successful people, journaling. And journaling early in the morning, like one of the first things after you wake up and meditate, is super helpful because it allows you any remaining dreams, anything that you've got going on in your head, anything you need to just kind of do a brain dump of or purge or work through. This is the perfect time to do it, guys. And it can be structured like this, or it can just be free flow. There's a certain kind of magic that I talk about a lot where the physical, not so much just on your phone, but the physical aspect of pen and pencil in hand onto paper start flowing, because once you have that impulse of that thought and you send it down to your hand, it's actually already gone and your brain is firing so quickly that it's on to the next thing. So it's kind of outsourcing the job to your hand. And so you're able to be much faster at it than you are if you're on your phone or a tablet or typing. So something to kind of keep in mind. And as always, if you have any questions on any of this, you're not clear on it, you want to know more about it, you can send me a DM. You can type it in the comments. I'm more than happy. I'm a talker, but guys, I'm totally available to have a dialogue with you guys. So I really do want to know and see your feedback. So things that make you happy. Think of at least 3 and expand the list from there. And you can go back to this later. Things that make you happy, things that you have, maybe people in your life, things that you can do, and take that I get to mindset when you're thinking about these. Like, my dogs make me happy. I get to spend more time with my dogs. I get to take them on more WALKs. I get to show up here with all of you guys. That makes me happy. I get to, so kind of marry the two together. I get to, and things that make me happy. Now, once you've had a list of that, something else I'd like you to consider is ways that you can be selfish to yourself, ways that you can be gentle and loving to you. So I dive into this deeper in the relationship section, but one thing to consider is, what are things, well, it's kind of two sides of the same coin. So there's ways that you can romance yourself, and there's things that you can do just to be gentle and loving to yourself. Like the meditation we did earlier, that is a way for you to take time out for yourself, which is considerate for you, being gentle and loving to yourself. Maybe taking a nice bath and relaxing. Maybe instead of self-criticizing, when that negative chatter, when that starts going, shut up. That in and of itself is an act of self-love, of kindness, just giving yourself a break. Ways you can be gentle and loving to yourself. You can sleep or nap, spread eagle in the bed all by yourself. You can stretch even for just 5 minutes, because anything you do that's more than what you did yesterday is progress. And it might not be much, but it will get you to where you're going. Any of this resonating? Making sense? Yesterday on my quarantine quest, I had a solo dance party. Like, that just energized me and made me feel good. So go ahead and start thinking about things that you can do to just give yourself a break, to be gentle and loving to yourself. Things that you would probably, on this list, these are things that you would probably advise somebody else to do that you care about. Like someone you know is going through a tough time. You'd be like, oh man, you need to just like put your phone on airplane mode for 20 minutes. Or you should totally read this book. Or, you know what? You should treat yourself. Go get it. Well, maybe you can't go get an ice cream now. Maybe go get some ice cream from the grocery store when you're going there for other things. Times are a little bit different, but it doesn't mean we can't be gentle and loving to ourselves and treat ourselves right now, right? So, yeah, in that category of things you can do to be gentle and loving to yourself, often it's useful to think of what advice you would give a good friend. Now, on the flip side, what are some things that you do for others that you haven't been doing for yourself? A little bit different than the advice that you would give somebody. Oh, Tiger Lily's coming to say good morning. Can you believe she's like 13? No, honey, mommy's wearing black today. So things you do for others. Typically, this shows up as putting your desires on hold to support someone else's. How often have you done that? Where, as simple as for the kids, right? Like you've got all these things that you might have to do for work or that you would like to do. You really want to read that book, but the kids need lunch or something like that. Now that's understandable. However, a lot of parents, and I'm not a parent, so take this as you will. As always with all of my things, take whatever serves you and let go of whatever doesn't. But wouldn't it be great? I mean, there's the initial response, like with my pets. I want to immediately, they meow, they bark. I immediately want to go to them. But if they were my children or my friends or coworkers, it wouldn't be of best service to me necessarily to just jump the gun. This is where you get princesses and the princess complex, where everyone does everything for me. Where they teach you when you're raising toddlers, especially the terrible twos, they'll test your patience. They will throw something just for you to pick it back up. And the second you pick it back up, you're reinforcing to them that everybody drops everything for you. But what are you showing them about what you're doing? So rather modeling by example. So rather than catering and saying, okay, yes, dear, anything you need, then you're turning into a slave. Versus showing them, okay, when I'm done, and focusing on you. So how many times does it show up in your life where you're putting your desires on hold for somebody else's wants or needs, right? Well, in order to best show up as your best self to be able to be there for someone else's wants and needs, you got to fill up that cup, guys. You got to take care of you first. And it's such a better example to model of kids and other people around you, especially when you're creating boundaries with people, like in coworker situations, or boundaries are a big one now that most of you are clustered with family. Showing that this is my time. We will have time together, but this is my time. That helps it helps communicate to other people your own sense of value. And if you don't have your own sense of value figured out, that's when the martyr syndrome comes in. That's when the slave syndrome comes in, and you start catering to everyone else's needs, depleting your own battery, and then you wonder why you're so run ragged at the end of the day. We're in this condition right now where we're being gifted the time to go within and fill up our cups, to recharge our batteries all the way to the fullest, and really think and restructure the way we show up in the world so we can show up better, stronger, smarter, more aligned. So, other ideas of things that you might do for others that you don't do for yourself? Stay strong for somebody else and let them cry on your shoulder, right? I'm here for you. I'm always here for you. And all you're getting is this. I talked a little bit yesterday, I think, about there's a Native American culture where the tribes people, the elders, will gather and allow people to come and air their grievances. You get 3. On the 4th time you show up for your grievance, the council elders all turn their backs to the person who's grieving. And they basically say, look, you've complained and complained and complained, but what have you done about it? You have not changed the situation. We're tired of it. You're bringing us down, man. We don't want to hear it anymore. So yeah, we're in this situation, but we're all in the situation. We're very well aware that the coronavirus has shut the world down. We get it. Now, what are you going to do about it? So often, who here is somebody who is always the strong one, always lets somebody complain to them? There, it's okay. We'll take care of you. I got you. It's great. I love being of service. But wouldn't it be nice sometimes to not have to do that? Or to help somebody help themselves, so that you can spend your energy and your time on the things that you would like. Because look, as far as I know, I've only experienced this one life and I've got things I want to do. So I'm not going to waste my time and energy too much on being someone else's support structure when I could be being my own support structure. This isn't about telling people to just, kick rocks and I don't care, you're not important, me. No, it's just getting you to change how you think about all the things that you do for others. This is just a list of things that you do for others that you might not do for yourself. Are you somebody who the I can do it or I don't need help mentality, where you're always the strong one, but even behind closed doors, maybe you don't even cut your own self a break? I've been there. Other things that you do for others that you don't do for yourself. Maybe something as simple as you might make somebody a balanced meal, a balanced lunch, but then you're just eating like PB&J or whatever quick you can grab. How is that serving you? It's not. But when you take the time, and I promise you, life goes by a lot faster than you think, but you have more time than you think. And if you just take the time to pause, fill up your cup, take care of yourself first, you can show up so much better with so much more power and clarity for others. Just making any sense? Let me know. So go ahead on your own time. You can do it with me here if you like. But once you have that list of things you do for others but not for you, take any two of them that you would love if somebody would do for you and do them for yourself. Try that on. See how that feels. I encourage you to be your own best friend this week. Especially for a lot of us who are stuck in solo isolation and are used to being out with friends and family, it can be daunting. It can be difficult. And so really work on doing things for you that you would normally do for others. See how that changes the game. Next, I want to take a moment for you to think about different ways that you're going to woo yourself. Yes, woo, like dating, like courting yourself. So these are things that you might do in a romantic pursuit, or things that you wish someone would come along and do for you, whether it's happened or not. This list is for you to start getting creative and really tap into what would just make me go, oh my gosh, for me? You're so thoughtful, or that's so sweet. An example, doesn't it just make you feel good when you receive flowers, or when someone treats you to dinner, or when you find a new pleasure center? Think of all these things that you would love if someone did for you. Maybe if you came home and your romantic partner, or if you are single, when you have a romantic partner, you came home and you saw, rose petals scattered up into the bed with candles. I mean, unless you're single and you're like freaking out, like, holy crap, who's in my house? Some weird stalker. Typically, this would be a nice feeling, like a great surprise. Why am I getting to this? Because we spend so much of our lives waiting for other people to read our minds, let alone come up with things we don't even know we want yet. And we're hoping that they will do that for us. Rather, why don't we, again, modeling by example, model to ourselves and show others the things that we want? Why not buy yourself flowers? Why not treat yourself to, normally I would say dinner out, in this case, ordering Uber Eats in? Why not discovering what really does feel good in my body? Maybe dressing up for yourself, just because. I mean, yeah, we're in quarantine and most of us are in sweatpants and and hoodies, which, hey, I'm all about the break. I'm all about the timeout. But it is 6:45 in the morning, guys. I got up at 6 a.m. Well, I got up before 6 a.m. because I tuned in at 6 a.m. But I am in a skirt and a shirt because how you show up, you know, you've probably heard the quote, how you do one thing is how you do everything. I am all about giving yourself time out. But in order to show up as your best self and increase self-esteem, increase self-love, you got to make yourself feel good. And how many days in a row can you sit around in yoga pants, sweatpants, PJs, and not shower and not do your hair, not do your makeup, and genuinely feel awesome? Honestly. Now, for some of you, that tolerance level might be a lot longer than some of the rest of us. But even if you're not setting an alarm, even if you are just getting up whenever because you've got this time, take time to do the self-care. Because so many times when you look at yourself and you're like, oh, I've let myself go, then that negative crap talk starts coming in more and more, right? And it's an easily slippery slope and a downward spiral of, oh, I've got to sit here and I've got this, and you know, this tooth doesn't look right and my hair is a mess and gosh, I gotta get, and it goes on and on and on. How are you gonna feel good about that? How are you gonna recharge your battery and show up and get to do all the things you wanna do when in the first 20 minutes of the day, you've basically said 100 mean things to yourself and you're just kind of like, what's the point? Not very conducive. So in thinking of the things that you get to do for yourself, this is your opportunity to get creative, not only to make yourself happy, but here's the extra benefits of that. When you start being aware of the things that you would love it if somebody else did for you, if your significant other did that for you, if you had a significant other interest to do that for you, when you start thinking about these things, you're automatically creating spurts of oxytocin, the happy hormone, and you're automatically getting yourself happy. Now, I can totally talk more about what I'm about to say later, but we're running out of time for that. Suffice it to say, regardless of your beliefs, science has proven that every single thing in the universe has a vibration, inanimate or not. So the sound that my voice is making has its own vibration, right? The motions I'm making have a vibration. This piece of paper has a vibration. The phone has a vibration and a totally different vibration when it's ringing, right? And we know this because sound and electrodes have been hooked up to things to measure electricity and the vibrations. So there is this whole scale, and if you think about it like a radio, AM or FM doesn't matter, even satellite, it's got a certain frequency, right? And you can't tune in to, oh gosh, I listen to Pandora all the time. So let's say, I'm just gonna throw out a number, I don't even know if it's right. 95.1, 95.5, The Nerve, I think there was a radio station I grew up with in like Rochester, New York. If I've got any Rochesterians or Buffalonians on there, keep me honest. Anyway, you can't turn in, if you want to hear alternative rock on 95.1, 95.5 The Nerve, you can't get there by turning into 88.8 FM Lake, right? Like it's not going to happen. Like you're just not going to get there. So when you think about it in terms of radio frequency and with the understanding that everything has a vibration, negative thoughts have a lower vibration. So when you start thinking about all the things that you would love someone else to do for you that would make you happy, just those thoughts are raising your vibration. And by the way, for the scientific geeks out there, the vibration that's known of feelings of love is 700 megahertz, something like that. Anywho, Where am I going with this? Back to these lists of things that make you happy, ways you can be gentle and loving to yourself, things you do for others, but not for yourself, ways you're going to woo yourself, win yourself over. Just writing these down are already going to boost that happy hormone oxytocin. It's already going to raise your vibration. It's already charging your battery so you can show up better and happier and more awesome and stronger for those around you. And for such a time as this, we could use that, right? So I'd like you to go ahead and write these lists down or type them in the comments, and then take action on them, guys. Go ahead and do some of these things, experience some of these things. And for some of these things that you can't exactly do in this quarantine or lockdown, now's the time to get creative. Now is the time to give it a whirl and see. Because I know that we're going to come out of this better and stronger because of it. Because I believe that this is a gift we are given that we get to fill in the blank. So I've got about 9 minutes left. I would love to take some questions if anyone has any. While you guys are thinking of your questions, I do want to thank you so much for being here. And I want to let you know about something kind of awesome that I've got going on. So please go ahead and get your comments or questions ready. While you're typing that, for those of you just tuning in or tuned in late, my name is Cassandra Renee, and I am a self-love and transformational life coach. I specialize in transformational breakthroughs and positive mindset shifts. So I hope you enjoyed your dose of happy today. If you would like to know more, please reach out and DM me. You can find me on Facebook and Instagram at Wild Blossom Beacon Coaching. Darius, hi, beautiful. Oh my gosh, I'm so happy you've joined. So I'm just wrapping up here, but I'm about to tell you about a contest I'm doing. So with what I do in helping people have their transformational breakthroughs, whether they want to make the career shift, whether they want to stop dating the same kind of person, whether they want to just get better at a certain skill, or in this case, get assistance on coping with all the new changes that have happened. Whatever it is, I'm here for you. I'm holding space for you. And what I do normally, I've got a couple of different packages. We can talk about it later. But typically, I work with my clients one-on-one, and I guide them through a series of 12 steps, 12 weeks, or you can do a crash course of 4 that really help you focus on the top things that have been creating blocks in your life. And I help you remove your limiting beliefs, discover what those even are, and really kind of blaze the trail, really just get that gunk out so you can show up and charge your battery. You know how like when your phone has been around for a while and the charger, you've been like jamming the charger in and it's all like, you got to kind of twist it and turn it and you got to have the cord wrapped around it just so it might charge. How many of you are showing up like that in life today where you're just trying to get by? Probably more than we care to admit. So when I work with people, I help you untangle that cord, find out what the problem is. Because 9 times out of 10, by the way, when that happens with your cell phone, it's actually not the cord and you're ruining the cord in the process. Take that as a metaphor for what's going on with you. Ha! Profound, right? How many times in your life have you just been like, just doing all the things and just getting them done and not focusing on... My mom always used to say, and I hated this advice because it was just like, great, add to the list of things that are not good about me, Mom, thanks. But she'd always used to say, look, if these relationships aren't going right, what's the common denominator? Maybe the problem isn't them, maybe the problem's you. Oh God, word of advice, parents, if you say this to your kids, please stop saying that. That's so damaging. I know. And how many of you also know, right? Sucks. Yep, one more thing, I'm the problem, great. Rather, a more loving way would have been to say, okay, There are things you can control and there are things you can't control. You can't control what these people are doing, but you can control what's going on with you. So let's backpedal and find out what's actually going on here, right? Yeah, right? And I came to discover after going through far too many phone cords, realizing, and you would even exert blame on them, right? You buy a new one, oh, this cord's defective, it doesn't even work. Or, oh, well, this one's cheap, that's what I get for spending a little money on it. Think about the metaphor to you. Almost always, all you have to do is, I'm not gonna give you full tech advice, but there are videos on YouTube you can find. All you gotta do is clean out the port. It's the phone, it's not the charger, and you're ruining the charger in the process, and you're casting away other perfectly good chargers. So in your life, when circumstances keep happening and they're just, why do I keep attracting these circumstances, these situations, these people? Try looking within. And that's what I help my clients do. When I work with you, I help you find out what it is, not the problem, not what's wrong with you, but what's been blocking you. And I help remove those blocks. So there are several ways that you can work with me. Feel free to DM me, comment on here. But I've got an even cooler way, and who doesn't love a contest? So if you go to my website, Wild Blossom, you can actually leave off the coaching part. If you go to my website, wildblossombeacon.com, hold it up a little bit more. I was about to be ashamed of my needing nails, but then I realized we all need our nails done. We can't get to our nail ladies. If you go to wildblossombeacon.com, you can go ahead and see my other packages and reach out to me, or you can just come over here, Wild Blossom Beacon on Facebook. But here's what I've got going on. You can see the packages. One of my best sellers is the 4 biggest keys to falling in love with yourself, and is a crash course, deep dive, self-guided practice that is normally available for $210. But given the quarantine, I've dropped the price down to $25. This is not a sales pitch. I am adding value here. Stay with me. I am also tossing in a 1 full hour of private one-on-one coaching and a Zoom call with me. And that is normally valued at, I apologize, I goofed up the prices. The 4 biggest keys to falling in love with yourself is normally $111. 1 private hour coaching with me is normally about $210. So I am tossing in a contest right now, guys, for both of those, because the crash course doesn't come with a coaching session. Feel free, if you want to get it, go to the website, message me, we'll talk about it later. But I would like to give it away for free. So got some rules, and I'm going to post them in the comments here for you guys. But this is a package worth over $300 that I want to give to somebody at the end of the week. I will draw the winner on Sunday. So here's how you enter real quick. Go to Wild Blossom Beacon Coaching on Facebook. I'll have the link in the comments. Like and follow me there. Share. I'm going to be on TQN every morning, 6 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, from 6 a.m. to 7 a.m. Any one of these videos, go ahead and share them on your page. And when you share them, tag at least 1 person. Bonus points, extra entries for each person you tag. And use the hashtag so I can follow this. Hashtag, there's 3 hashtags you can use. I'm going to be looking at all of them. Hashtag TQN for the Quarantine Network. So hashtag TQN. Hashtag TQN Cassandra. Remember, there's an O in my name. And hashtag Wild Blossom Beacon. Okay, those are 3 different hashtags you can use. Doesn't matter which one or if you use all of them. But if you do those 4 steps, again, I'm going to post them in the comments. At the end of the week, I'm going to do a drawing for a free coaching package and my crash course, The 4 Biggest Keys to Falling in Love with Yourself. Guys, thank you so much for being here with me. I really appreciate you. I'm so grateful to be here. I'd love to hear your feedback and hear from you on anything that you have questions on and ways that I can best serve you tomorrow and the days to come. So thank you for being here. Thank yourselves for being here. And remember, take care of you first so you can show up best for other people. cough into your elbow, wash your hands, and be safe. I love you all. Mwah. Bye, guys. See you tomorrow morning.